To be perfectly honest, outside of the name of the series, Eden Zero, the relationship, their ship, I didn't take into account legitimately at any time the fact that the zero in Eden Zero had some form of representation, an actual number. I always thought it was just, part of the name, this kind of like what, like ground zero for Eden, or, something like that. Like, okay, the ship is like the base paradise of Ziggy's life, something like that, something where it's like, the name of a ship comes from some captain's like weird kind of ideals. I don't think I really need to go too deep. If you've ever seen, like, if you've ever gone to a shipyard or just like the harbor, like, people name ships really, really weird names. But we got that in here. So as they are getting ready to go to the Sun Jewel, to go where Valkyrie is, everyone's like, okay, cool, we're getting ready to our next destination. We got the last member of the 4 Starshines before we can have Eden Zero up to, full capacity and get past Dragon Falls. But we got to go through this debris field because we can't use the fast travel, the warp drive. What was the Eden Zero official one? I think it was yeah, it would just travel warp function or whatever, their version was. And like, we can't because we haven't been there before. All the information previously when Ziggy, was the captain, was wiped out. And they're just like, I wonder why he did that. And Shiggy's just like, oh, because, he didn't want us to cheat. He wanted us not to take shortcuts on our journey. He looked at a very optimistic side of things, which was nice. He's a pretty happy guy, that Shiggy. He's looking for the bright side of things, which the cheerful nature of him and just that kind of like very friendliness to it, it's just all around delightful to see. He's not like, shit, we're gonna be like traveling through space for an extra 2 days. Well, no, 3 days. And it's like, oh, okay, whatever. We can find something enjoyable to do. And while they're traveling, there's like some fish from the aquacosmos that kind of just like loom on in, these big space fish, a little bit bigger than the Eden Zero ship. Not too huge, but still fairly nicely sized fish. So probably like probably a little bit bigger than like a blue whale. Just kind of looking at it and guessing. Still pretty impressive. Still really impressive. I don't know for a fact. I don't think I've seen a direct like one-to-one diagram of a person in the Eden Zero ship, but regardless, big fish. And in there, you see a dude who's just in his spacesuit, and he's got like he's got the it's not the mast, is it the sail of the ship? This dude, Colonel Connor, and he's just holding on to onto it, and he's like, oh, on the helm of the ship, that's what it's called. He's like, oh no, I'm not doing that. A captain would never give up the helm. And he's just holding this damn thing out in space, and they end up helping him, giving him food, and he seems like a little bit of a nuisance. He's eating a lot of their supplies. He seems a little bit too pushy. Like, he's just like, I'd be perfectly fine being captain of this ship if you guys want me to. And they're like, no, we absolutely do not want you to do that. And he ends up going to like, while Homura and Rebecca are out like just having a bath, just relaxing, getting clean, and he's just like in there, he's like, I can't believe you guys have a mixed bath. This ship is really cool. And obviously, that didn't go too well for him. They end up giving him some clothes, and he has this pretty nice looking outfit. He has that like buttoned up, open sleeves like coat, where it's just like draped behind him, so he's not really wearing it. But I always thought it was a really cool design. I remember that was on just like the character off the top of my head, even though he's probably not too well known. The main character from was it Red Sprite? And I actually don't even remember his name. I just remember his face, his design in the series. When he's just like trying to touch Moscow, he's button on his stomach. He's like teaching swear words to Pino, and he just seems like a little bit of an annoying dude. And I thought that was like curious to why exactly that was. Is he some form of bad guy who's secretly trying to low key mess with them, mess with their ship? And they get an alert, and they're like, oh, he's trying to. The dude's now driving Eden Zero. We need to go do something. Which seems pretty pissed off about it. They all go up there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I heard from Shiki that you guys were going to the Sun Jewel, and it was a 3-day trip. So I shortened that for you guys to 1 day." He just went through the debris. He knew a shortcut, and even through Hermit's like kind of like technical and more like analytical abilities, she didn't see how that was possible. And it's revealed that this dude, when they're like trying to figure out who exactly he is, reveals that he is the captain of the ship Eden's One, which I think is extremely interesting because it makes me think, is it an upgraded version of a ship? Is it some form of special ship like version of this? Maybe Eden Zero was like some hyper prototype, and everything beyond that was like a pale imitation, or something like that. Maybe there's some like extreme ship maker out there somewhere in space. What? A series where it seems that like all the characters, they don't really have houses; they live in their spaceships. A character who just is going to be renowned for spaceships and spaceship design. One surprised me. I remember what is it in One Piece? I'm trying to remember the guy's name. He was Frankie's mentor. That dude who made like really good ships. Kind of like that. It just seems like one of like a pretty like standard kind of character, if so. But otherwise, like maybe like Eden Zero is one of like 4 or 5 ships, and it's it's the most impressive grade one. Something along that. There's again some mystery. All we know is this guy, obviously, of a ship, Eden's One, and not only that, he's got a tattoo of the name on him. So it's so confusing of where this could go. Like I don't think anyone really like got this kind of thing coming, especially so early, because we're getting ready for all the Valkyrie stuff. Draken Joe's doing his thing. I didn't think any like more lore on the ship itself was going to be coming so soon, which again was a nice surprise, a nice little change of what I was expecting. I thought maybe some like comedic character, which he kind of was, but at the same time he's giving us more lore and more trying to shroud in that secrecy of everything. It's kind of like because when you thought about it, like Eden Zero, the series, like everyone's like trying to think about like stuff like Ziggy and Mother, like those aspects of the lore, but it's not something like you think of like Doctor Who, and it's like his TARDIS, his ship. They didn't. I don't remember them going too deep into the lore at the start. Obviously, I only know from like renewed TV show that what didn't it start like 2007 or something? The newer one with the Ninth Doctor, and then I don't watch the current weird stuff, but. You know what I mean? It was a while before they kind of went into like deeper stuff with their ship. I didn't expect it to like. This is only. I guess this is actually capping off about to be the first year anniversary of Eden Zero. I guess maybe that's when you think about it, it's probably a pretty good reason to start giving at least a little bit of info. Maybe not like here's all the information on the Eden Zero ship. Maybe just like, hey, it's like I said, one of X amount of ships, and it was like the pinnacle of them. Maybe in reality, Eden Zero is like part 1, and the a few other ships like are needed to make up its true like perfection, or something. It's just kind of like shooting around those ideas at the moment. It's just some good mystery in there. Hopefully, I'm hoping that we at least get a hint in the next chapter. Like the guy's probably going to give some, but there's definitely some mystery behind him if he didn't even mention it until a day later after being with them and spending as much, well, I wouldn't call it a lot of time, but he's definitely been hanging out with them. But other than that, the next chapter, the chapter named The Scarlet Woman, I think we all know what this is going to mean. Maybe it means that he was attacked by Elsie. I guess that would actually be really interesting too, and then it would tie in another storyline. It would make sense why he lost his ship, and maybe somehow tie the reason why Elsie did that maybe was something with Ziggy. We don't know. Obviously, it's up and coming. But as it is now, I feel like the title Scarlet Woman is going to be obviously going towards Elsie. Well, I guess maybe it's just the translation, because this is not. This is one I don't think is from the official one, but because she's the Elsie Crimson instead of Ursa Scarlet. She's this evil take on the character. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I mean, maybe it's just me making an assumption, but I feel like he suddenly doesn't have his ship. Man without a ship, and the next chapter being of said title, it's only too convenient, boss of a space pirate crew. Anyway, drop a comment below on what you thought about this. I thought it was pretty good lore, pretty good interesting story to kind of get like hinted in and brought in, out of nowhere. That definitely gives some credence to the name of the ship, and then really the series itself, and its origins, not just the origins of like Ziggy and Shiki and Mother and whatnot. Other than that, I'd really appreciate if you thumbs up the video, or find the like button and the subscribe button, and check out my other videos. Other than that, I appreciate everyone who's listening and everyone who's already subscribed. Bye.